one of the main tasks was make the unique music for 12 days. If we, for example, change our game state for the map, we have a filters. If you can hear, there are shepherd tone.
I think it's my favorite example of how easy it is and how you can get creative. This is cow without the rain, and when the rain goes. How cool is this?
Hello, and welcome to another FMOD Deep Dive. Today, we're talking to the team behind the psychological horror game Pathologic 3. We'll be talking to Natasha Radiner, Resha Schwartzold from Gameowdio, and audio director Vasily Kashnikov. This is a super rare look at a game that is still currently under development, and we've been privileged enough to talk to the team whilst they're still working on the game. They were also candid enough to admit that they're still figuring things out and testing ideas, and when you look at the music system, you'll understand exactly why. All three of them talk about how great it is to bounce ideas off of each other and solve problems together. But what happens when you're the only person on the project and you come across a problem that you've never encountered before? If you're new to Gameowdio implementation, figuring out how to create these adaptive systems that we're going to talk about can feel a little overwhelming. And that's exactly why I created my course FMOD Challenges, to practice building these adaptive systems inside of real-life project constraints. So you can practice, improve, and learn and be ready for the next paid project that comes your way. If you want to see what that looks like, there is a full video walkthrough linked below this video. Now, since filming this interview, the game has gone through some development changes, which means some of the features we'll be discussing may no longer appear in the final product. In any case, the implementation we're going to go through is still going to be super insightful, so I really hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, let's dive into the interview. Everybody's happy and ready and excited?
Yay!
Pretty sure be.
Have to.
In which case, welcome everybody. It's so nice to have all three of you here. I'm very, very excited to chat about Pathologic 3. First of all, let's have some introductions, I guess. Who is who? What do you all do within the team? And how did you all contribute to this awesome project?
Okay, I think I'll start, if you don't mind. So, as an audio director of Pathologic 3 and Pathologic 2 and other games of I Speak Lodge, except the first Pathologic, the very first from 2005 year. So I worked on game industry as a sound designer and composer about 20 years. And when I worked on Pathologic 2, I was just alone. And I have some help from my colleagues in minor deals, but in most I was worked alone. So when when the project is ended, I have no any projects about a year because I was burned out, and then I started work with Resa at Tiny Build. At that time, I will start work with Natalia, which helped me with another project called Turn Away. And at that time, I worked with Resa and with Natalia. And after about a year of working in Tiny Build, there were starts development of Pathologic 3. And Resa finished his work at Tiny Build for that time. And that was a good chance to involve her and her company, Gameowdio, which was already have Natalia as producer, to development of Pathologic 3, because Pathologic 2 was a big project, and Bachelor of Pathologic 3 also big project, but it more complicated, more difficult to develop. It has many techniques and gameplay features which need to be developed with more than one man. And so I talked to our management and the Gameowdio, which you can see below, Res and Natalia and Arthur, and my colleague Nikolai, which helped me with music, actually, which wrote most of the music, which I produced. So I'm kind of produce the music. I make him the directions, make him advices, make him inspiration for how we should make this soundtrack and how it must be sounds and emotional and etc. So that's, I think, must be enough for start. So my name is Vasily Kashnikov. I'm audio director of I Speak Lodge projects, and I'm very glad to work with incredible people from Gameowdio, which was involved after I realized that the Pathologic 3 is a more difficult project. And there was a good chance. I'm very happy that we have a budget for this. It's not so big, but at least it's budget.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Great insight. I don't suppose Ressa or Natasha, do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about your role on the project and your involvement, I guess?
Yeah, I can tell a little bit about us. So Gameowdio is an audio outsourcing studio, and I am the CEO and the founder of the studio. So what I usually do, like when we get a project, I'm like, okay, we have an audio director. You will be the audio director, you will be the composer, you will be the sound designer, you will be the technical sound designer. We have a team. Okay, go do the project now. And I just do some business development, client relations, all of this kind of stuff. But with Pathologic, it went some other way. So we started working on it, and I was like, this is interesting. I like this game. I like this universe. I like this franchise. So I want to just put my hands inside of it. So I tried some technical sound design. I tried some placeholders. And then Natasha is doing technical sound design now. So yeah, we were doing a lot of stuff. And if you heard this clock on the wall in the menu, that was also done by me. Like for some reason, I decided to make assets for this one because it just seemed fun. Yeah, you know.
Oh, right. So not just sound, you actually delved into like actually creating the art, like the objects, the assets for the clock. You mean for like
yes, all of the tracks for it. I don't know what drove me to do this, but it was really fun.
The very first sound you can hear in the game, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely one of the first ones.
Yeah, and also helped with finding some other people, some other outsourcers that we assigned to the project. And I'm also doing some marketing materials. I'm doing the like posts on LinkedIn, this kind of stuff. And I came to the podcast just to be here. I think I'm cute, yeah.
And we're glad you did. Absolutely, 100%. Make us all look much better. Fantastic. I love hearing how involved people can get in an indie project. And I love that about indie projects, actually, personally as well. So, Natasha, you handled a lot of the technical side of things then?
Yeah, that is true. Well, thank you, Ressa and Vasily, for the introduction. Yeah, that is true. I would say that the main part of the technical sound implementation is on my shoulders at the moment, as well as Ressa. I was also doing some placeholders or some middle quality assets while we were waiting for the final animations or something. Like, you know, you don't do like top tier assets for something that is not at the finished stage, but still you want it to sound like good enough so people can actually get the idea how it's going to sound in the game. So yeah, I was also responsible for that. And of course, with a lot of direction from Vasily and a lot of help, because he's the head on our shoulders, and he's the one who knows this world from very, very beginning, and he knows how it's supposed to sound. We can only give ideas, maybe sometimes like inspiration. What? Sorry?
In that case, I could say that I just have some vision, and so I tried to provide this vision to Natalia, to anyone else, and I get this vision from our designers, our writers, our other team which make this world, and I tried to translate it from designer's language to sound designer's language.
Yeah, exactly.
That idea, yeah.
So I kind of see my role more like a Vasily's little helper to implement the vision of his and implement
not
the vision
not at all. Most of the technical sound design is your work, and don't be so humble.
Thanks. And also, yeah, I think it's pretty funny kind of a cool coincidence that we both knew each other even before I started to work at Gameowdio, and we worked with Vasily, and Ressa was working with Vasily, but now we're like working together. So I think it's a dream team. And of course, we have another people, as Vasily mentioned. We have Artur, we have Nikolai, and our audio team, and I think it works. So far, it works great, and it's a great pleasure. It's like an honor to be a part of this, well, kind of like a cult following game, to be honest. I mean, when I was like a kid teenager, the first one came out, it's like, oh my God, so cool. If I could go back in time and tell myself, you're gonna work with this game with these people, like, oh shit, nah. That feels, yeah, every time when I talk about it, when I think about it, it feels cool. It's just cool, yeah. That would be the easiest and the most correct way to put it.
I love it. It's like it was meant to be, a match made in heaven, that all three of you came together and made such fantastic audio. I love it. Speaking of sounds, do you want to jump into some more? I want to hear more about the sounds. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah. Vasily, would you tell us about like Pathologic 2 a little bit so we could see the comparison?
Yeah, that was a kind of traumatic experience.
Because you've it's a workflow from number 2 to number 3, as far as I understand.
In I Speak Lodge, they never uses any middleware before the France, and then the Pathologic 3, and we worked in our own engine on the Void or Turger. Then Knock Knock was on Unity and was native Unity system. There was a cargo Quest for Gravity, it was own engine. And Pathologic 2 was on Unity with using Canvas Flow plugin. It's a kind of plugin which arranged like kind of blueprints, like in Unreal Engine or some another visual programming systems. So I cannot find a picture of how it was looks, but you can imagine it. There was one node, then it's linked to another node, and the music and sound was realized on these nodes with states which direct the states. And it changed the music, the sound effects inside buildings, outside, and so on. So there were the first note, which is game, for example. So if it's game, so we playing. It's game, then it was one or branch of this node. It's outdoor, indoor. Then which is indoor, which the region is if the player are walking or run, and it all make influence on what we what we hear and how it sounds. There were pretty interesting, but not very comfortable system for work, but at all it works. It works pretty nice because I must admit the sound of Pathologic 2 was not so bad and maybe even good.
Well, don't be so harsh on yourself. Jesus.
Yeah, I just remember there was this DevGam conference 2016, 2015, I don't remember. And I convinced Vasily to do a lecture on Pathologic 2 and how he did the sound with the programmer there. And he was telling everybody about those like complicated systems with the interactive music switching from one region to another, from one indoor to another outdoor, and all of this stuff. And then he said, we didn't use any middleware, so we used just pure Unity. Also poor, yeah. And everybody in the audience, everybody in the audience was like, oh my God, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, what are you doing? They're just junior sound designer, like in the meme. So that was it.
That's great. I think it's always so useful and insightful when people give these kind of talks at conventions, because I think that's really interesting. I'd love to hear how you got round not using middleware, because that's because as we know now that we all understand what FMOD does for a project, not using it is just as a massive effort. There's so much time involved, like creating the systems that FMOD does in like seconds.
Yep. And unfortunately, in my practice, I most of my projects was not using any middleware. And for example, right now I'm working on one unannounced project which have no any middleware. It have a own sound system, and I've tried about a year to prove to developers that we should use something, because it will be more efficient for me, more for developers. It will be simpler for all, but there's no points to make this mount to move. So I think maybe I'm cursed or something. I don't know.
Well, if you are, then we all are, Vasily, because I've experienced the same situations as well. And sometimes I have worked on projects that don't need middleware, and sorry, sometimes they don't need middleware, and that's fair enough. My
Sure.
Right. My counter argument is always to the developer, like, okay, if we're not going to use middleware, either we're going to make a much simpler kind of system and architecture, or I'm going to still do everything that I'd want to do with the audio, and it's going to have to be programmed and scripted in. So that's more work for you. So it's either one or the other, because it is difficult for them to see how much time they would save, or some developers prefer to put in the time. But I try to make it as clear as possible. Then after that, it's kind of like, I told you so.
That's what I do. That's what I do. So I have 1 day with programmer at this project for now. And this week he told me that he's ill, and we have no this day. And I think at the next conversation, when we conversate about progress, I will say, so guys, we still stopping with sound, because I make assets, I get into the game, but I can't force it to sound, because you make these decisions. So here I am, hear my sound, but it's not in the game, unfortunately. Well, yeah. That's a kind of general problem, but okay.
But I think
we do what we can.
That's true. Well, that's true. I think this is a good time actually to say kudos to our programmer Albert, who was if I'm not mistaken, Vasily.
Yeah, sure.
Correct me.
Albert, which was head of programmers on Pathologic 2 and head of programmers on Pathologic 3. He was really giant work to make it all real. Because when I walk to him and tell, look, Albert, I need this feature and this feature. I want this sound sounds here and in this setting. How do we can this? And then he told, fuck off, Vasily, I have no time. And after half a time, everything was get done. It was works, and it was nice. So I'm really appreciate this, his soft and hard skills. So
fantastic. Communicating with devs. This is going to be our new lecture. How to communicate with your developers, asking them for audio systems. Fantastic. I'm also hoping that conversations like this one that we're having now is going to present a good argument for why we need things like FMOD incorporated into our projects. Because at the end of the day, I haven't seen any game at the moment nominated or winning an award, for instance, and being recognized for its audio, brilliance that hasn't used middleware. And I think that's a very strong argument. If you want a great sounding game, we need to have
when we released Pathologic 2, I have a award for its sound brilliance.
And that's fantastic. And I'm sure you do. I hope I stand corrected. But again, you've just told me that you went to great lengths, didn't you, to make your programmer.
Well, yeah. He deserves
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, this is a brilliant introduction.
Thank you.
Honestly, do we want to dive into some FMOD stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that would be fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah, but finishing on Pathologic 2, I wanted just to add that I've watched that speech of Vasily that talk about the sound of Pathologic 2 even before I think we been properly introduced to each other, and it was super interesting. Yeah, and when I found out that it was done without any FMOD, I was like, holy shit. Oh my god. This is going some extra mile, like maybe 100 miles. So that word for excellence is very, very well deserved. And I think it's still possible to find it on YouTube. And I suppose like the auto-generated translation from Russian to English should be like good enough to get the basic ideas. It's a good talk. It's a short one, and it's a very interesting one. Inspiring.
Yeah,
inspiring to use FMOD.
It still can be useful for people who want to do stuff with poor Unity.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll put a link to it in the description for sure.
It's time for Pathologic 3, right?
Yeah. I think Natalia, it's
yeah,
your time.
the
Showtime.
Showtime, the main dish, the main course, right? So first thing I wanted to show you, I think it's been one of the first more or less big systems that I've made for the game, and I'm still very, very proud of it. It's a time reverse system that is being used in the cathedral of the game. So we have the system of levers that control time, which can be going in reverse or direct mode. And also it can control the speed of time too. So it can be not only reverse, but like twice as fast in reverse, and also in direct mode, how it should be. So, and everything that is going on with the time also affects how the sound is perceived by the player, not excluding the music and the UI, of course. So in order to hear how it works, I'll put the event here with the like a normal speed, and I'll open another event here with, let's say, like a ticking clock or something like that. If I just the clock that Ressa mentioned should do the trick.
The famous clock.
Yeah, I think it's this one. And also I'll put some ambience too, because the system affects not only the 3D sounds like the small meters, but the ambience in general. I don't know, let it be. Do we have something good in Cathedral? Ish. I'll make it sound a little bit louder, just so it would be easier to hear what exactly is going on. So when the time speed is 1, which is like a normal speed, everything is fine. If we're going up, yeah, with the rhythmical sounds, as clock is the easiest way to hear. Like everything is going faster. And also when it goes back, we're going through these little whooshes. So to give a player a feedback, so something is actually going on. And when it's back to 1, it's swoosh again.
Great sounding clock, by the way.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Also, when we were making this video about Pathologic 3 for this Team Fast 7 sound, I said that we tried to create everything as it looks in real life. So, you know, when in real life the time goes like in the opposite direction, you always hear whooshes. That's what happens. So we did it.
So yeah, as I showed previously, we have 2 snapshots. One is like time pitch, and another one is only for the reverse time. So when the time pitch snapshot is on, it affects groups, especially the ones that are reverb influenced. We have a Q delay all the good stuff. And also the pitch, of course. There is the pitch automation is like that.
Wow, that's an interesting tone.
Yeah, that depends on the time speed from -2 to 2. So you can hear when it's lower than 1, closer to 0, it goes so down, so everything just stops. You cannot hear anything, and all the low frequencies here with the ambient group are very, very well, sorry. Where are they? Here. Not too much. Not just like, like a sub bass, but just, yeah. They're not only low frequencies up, but also mid frequencies down. So that gives extra. Well, you can hear it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and when we're going lower than 0, so basically reverse time, we have additional reverse snapshot turning on, and it has the delay effect, this a little bit of a reverb, and a reverb, also additional reverb on the ambience as well, and then the same idea with the pitch. We have a whole lot of delay and reverb here, and a whole lot of the automations both on time pitch and reverse snapshot. Am I too fast, or is it okay?
No, that's fantastic. That's really interesting. So it's like, yeah, you're trying to create the sensation that we're going back in time. So it's a very stylized idea, right? So I guess the delay and the reverb eerie.
And you can hear, like, with the -1 or 1 speed, which is like normal but reversed, is the same pitch.
Yeah, and I can see that you've made it very steep at the beginning, right? So each time, whichever direction you go, you get a really big sense of time shift.
Yeah, exactly. And if we go back to the normal, we are... Wait a second, I will show you in the project window again. Beezer. You can hear it, right? Yeah, not only we have these whooshes between normal and like something is going on, something is changing from normal here. When it's slower, it's also going from here. But also, when the reverse is on, there's also a little bit of a swoosh, like that. Because the time is, again, on, but it's like reverse on. And we have this...
Can we turn those whooshes up for a second? Can we put them like really loud so we can really hear them?
Oh, yeah, sure. Like, let's go back to... This is 1, reverse off, and we go into the normal region. And when the reverse has started, it's only from the 0. So let's do 0 first. It's still here on this loop region. And only when the time speed is below 0, it goes here to this zone. You can hear my mouse. You can see my mouse, right?
Yeah.
So the swoosh. And the ticket is on. It's still lower than the normal. And going all the way to -2. I mean, it's still quite fast, but with this a bit additional delay and reverb, it gives you the idea like something is not right. So we're going in reverse. And back from 0 to... It's still low. But we don't... But we're slightly going back to normal. And the normal is here again. Whoop. Right here.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
yeah.
What a cool little system. And I like that you split up the snapshots into 2 rather than put them all into one snapshot, reversing the time pitch. I assume that just made it easier to think about more than anything, to have these in 2 snapshots.
Yeah. I was trying to do it with 1, but I think the idea behind it was that in the first like iteration of the system, it only should have been from 0 to 2. I think it should be like from standing to going twice as fast, and then the idea of reverse time was added, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Vasily could correct me on that. I do not remember, to be honest. But I think there was some thoughts behind that, and that was the easiest way to just like fix it. And also, as you mentioned it gives you like the possibility to fine tune the reverse and the like normal time mode.
This is a very big mechanic in the game. I take it, this clock, like you hear this a lot, I assume.
Well, not. Are you saying something, Ressa? Because you're muted.
Yeah, I was like talking to myself. Not the clock, but everything. It influences everything we hear, basically. But the UI, I think, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
I see. So these two snapshots influence everything, a lot of things in the game, and the clock is the best way to exemplify that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the time is a big theme in the game, and the time travel is a big mechanics. So is all about seeing how your decision influenced the world and being able to actually go back and do something differently. So the clocks and the way they tick, so you can hear either like very directly like here, or like very smoothly in the music. But Vasily is going to demonstrate it a little bit later, I suppose.
Wicked.
Yeah. Another thing that is important to show, I think, a cool system is how rain or like wetness parameter affects the game, because we not only have like the rain itself. Of course, the rain, since it has like the rain parameter, it depends like on the sound of the rain is getting louder and is getting less subtle. It's also affected by the indoor parameter. When you are indoor and the rain is still quite heavy, the rain is muted because you're inside of a house or a building or a cathedral. But for me, the cool part is how it affects other things, like let's say steps. We have a lot of surfaces.
Oh wow!
As one does. And for some of the surfaces, we have additional wet sound effects that are only on when the rain is on. So this is like this is basically our own dry wet parameter.
Wetness, I like it. Clear.
Because you can have this squishy, dirty sound. Because, of course, we did not use it inside of any like building because there is no rain inside. But on the ground, it adds this squishy, cool. And we also, I think, have a shallow water, which gets more deep when the rain is on, because like the puddles are,
that's a nice detail.
A little bit deeper. I'm not sure that it's being implemented in the game build at the moment correctly, but the idea behind it is already in FMOD.
It's just the demo. You have time.
Yeah. Same with stone.
Very satisfying.
Isn't it? Isn't it just? What else? Oh yeah. Maybe you also can see the bush parameter and think like, what the hell is a bush parameter? It does not have anything to do with rain, but while we're at it, I can show it. And basically, we just have one parameter, like, are we in bushes or not? It's like 0, 1. And when we are in bushes, the bush sound effect is added. But it's not like here like this, not just like multi-instrument. Let's turn on the wetness. You can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Because all the bushes are outside. Sometimes why we decided not to make it like here, like only one sound with one step, because if you do not move and you are still in the bush, you can, because of the wind, it would be good if a player could actually hear the sound of the bush still. So we also have the player speed parameter, and if it's small enough, I think if even when it's 0, the sound of the bush is a little bit quiet, but still hearable. Yeah, current speed.
Right.
Like that. Can we hear it? No, because it's okay, because we're not in bushes. Yeah, I think this should work. You can hear something, right?
Yeah.
Hit the one-shots, yeah.
So you can hear, like, depending on the current speed, is either like a very subtle sound of the bush or like a whole sound of the bush when the person is walking. So yeah, maybe I'm trying to make it more difficult than it has to be, but so far it works. I don't think we're going to change it anytime soon, but I like how it gives like this subtle bushy, like a little bit of like twigs or something like that, and leaves when you're not even moving, just standing or rotating. Yeah, we also have a player turning parameter.
Right.
Yeah,
so
and we're
like, it's not just a one shot like walking through the bush, but you're adding a little bit of ambience, right? So if you're standing,
yeah,
just a little something, right? It's not quite an ambience, but just every now and then, just like twigs breaking or something like.
Yeah. But we also need to control this max instances thing, because sometimes if you put it too high, we already stumbled across this problem, and I think I'm getting better at finding out which is the perfect number to put here, but I'm still working on it.
When I first started using FMOD, I thought that max instances meant that it was going to mix my game for me. So it was going to, I could just put it easily, just choose the number of instances, choose the priority, and I was so wrong. And if anybody else is confused about macros, I have a video on that explaining exactly what they do, because they do help. But I also I don't know how you guys have found it, but it does need kind of like a back and forth between development. Like if there are too many sounds playing at once, sometimes it's not always a solution from the audio side of things. Sometimes an event just can't be played 100 times in 1 second.
That was actually a problem for the demo. When the demo was out, we found out that there were stutters in the quarters with the plague or something, or in the rebellious quarters. I think the ones with the plague first. So
infected.
We needed to do an investigation, and then we found out that there were a lot of instances of bushes, trees, this kind of stuff, and also this clouds, the plague clouds. But Natasha can tell about this, Lena.
I think I've fixed it finally, but we're still working on. Of course, I mean, I like how it's always a game of like try and error, but at least so far, I didn't manage to screw this whole project too much.
Excellent. That's good.
so hard, so I could not fix it. So but sometimes the mistakes I do, I'm glad that they're reversible, just like our audio system. But sometimes they make me laugh, and it's good because when you're creating a game about something as like sad as like apathy, right? A melancholy plague. When you're doing something so dark in its nature, it's good to have a cool people to work with that you can actually laugh together at something more like lighthearted, not to be super serious in everything.
I see that. Yeah, when the subject matter is so dark and moody and it's nice to find a reason to laugh.
Exactly.
That's great. I just love that you can fix these things so quickly in FMOD as well, right? Like, fine, max instances, your voice count was going through the roof. You can go into FMOD, change the max instances, change how it's stealing from the previous one.
And it's immediately better. That's true. Also, what else I wanted to show you about the rain? We have also the window thing. No. It's a very subtle ambience. I just wanted to show that even for the ambiences that are like going through windows as like portals, so they emit the sound of the ambience behind the window, we could also add a little bit of wetness, and maybe not for morning, but I think for like day. It changes a little bit because you can hear slightly more wet sounds of steps. Maybe it's hard to hear now. But yeah, it's just the idea how the rain is also affecting the ambiences behind the window.
So this is like a player walking past the window and then hearing a little bit of the
just a little bit. And not only for windows, but also for the roofs, I've added a subtle layer of, this
tapping, right? Yeah, like
what?
Tapping, tip tap.
Yeah, exactly. Tapping through the roof like that. So if you are under that roof, you could hear just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be that loud in the game, of course.
Is that that asset which I sent you a year ago?
I think maybe. I'm still not sure that they have implemented it into the game yet, but hopefully it's going to be in the final game. Hopefully. I think my personal favorite way how I used it is with the cow sound. I just could not show them. It's my favorite thing. When we've added the cow sounds, because we have cow emitters in one of the areas, it's just the cows. So the cows doing moo. That's easy. Like any 5-year-old can tell you how the cow goes. So when the cow goes moo, and I was just running, checking how everything works, I've realized that when the rain is on, we already have the animation of the raindrops going on the cow backs. So we have the animations of their dropping on them, but we don't have any additional sound. So you just walk past cows and there's just rain on the surface of the ground. And I thought, if we already have this cow event and it's already on the cow, I can just add the layer of rain on the cow. So like zero additional work for programmers. And what an effect. And we already have the wetness parameter. So yeah, it's basically zero work from Unity, and everything is here in FMOD. That's why I love FMOD. I think it's my favorite example of how easy it is and how you can get creative. So yeah, this is cow without the rain, and when the rain goes, how cool is this?
Looks like a vinyl,
Yeah.
Cow on vinyl.
Vinyl cow. That's true.
I love that. Not only because you just said it, it's a perfect example of how you've just added more value to the game in the form of
and you can
sounding cow, and you haven't had to bother the programmers because you can just do this
absolutely
yourself.
Because all the parameters are already in.
Is that actually a vinyl sound?
No, it's just
so similar, isn't it?
It just sounds so, yeah.
It's just white noise with some droplets, but yeah. Now that you mention it, it does sound like vinyl, man.
Maybe we should record a real cow bot in the rain.
I think you should actually. I think, if you wanted to put the extra effort in.
All we are
find
is
some
butts in the rain.
Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Now I understand what you meant when you wrote this.
That was dust in the wind reference. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think you got it right.
I got it now.
So yeah, this is all about the wind. It's like rain and wind and atmospheric stuff. And I think the last thing that I can share, if everybody's okay with that, especially Vasily, because it's the system that we're still working on, and I wanted to share it because I want to show that we're all like human beings. Sometimes we don't know how to do this thing, and we're still working on it. We've done some experimentations, and it's in the demo, I think. in this format that we are not very happy about, to be honest. Can maybe you, Vasily, tell us a little bit more about the metabolism apathy system, and I will show what we did and why it doesn't work at the moment.
Metabolism. Oh.
Yeah.
So if you played the Pathologic 3 already, you know about that the Bachelor has an apathy and
Mania, yeah.
mania. Yeah.
Right?
So when you goes to apathy and when you goes to mania, you have a kind of cursor which move to one or another state.
These are like mood swings, right? The player can
Hey.
feel apathy, like super sad, and then super crazy.
Yeah. When you're
Exactly.
super sad, you eventually make suicide, and if you have a fatal mania, you just have a heart attack and or also death.
Lovely.
So,
You know,
yeah.
lighthearted game.
I can see why you focus so much on the cow butts now. Now I totally understand. I totally get it.
Well, when you have changes in the lines of apathy or mania, you have need to be informed that these changes are happened.
Yeah.
And at this time, it happens too often, and so we have some sound which indicate it, and Natalie can just show us which sound it is, and we at the moment and this week and next week and I think next month we will working about how it will be sound according to how this system will be changed, because our designers already say that they will change its offness and frequencies and its mechanics, but for now we have kind of annoying sound which hear almost
it's this one you hear, right?
So that's a system which can be must be indicate our state of mind of our protagonist. Also, we have a metabolism system which influenced on music, and when you have apathy, the music is going slowed down and going glitchy in one way, and when you are going to maniac state, so the music more. Glitchy in the other way. I will show you when we will talk about our music systems. Yeah. So our metabolism system is have influence on sound and on the music, and we working on it. And it's not a very simple work, but I think we can. Yes, we can.
You cannot hear it. Yeah. Okay, that's not very subtle, but you can hear it, right?
Perfect. I like that.
So the problem is, at the moment, we're hearing this low metabolism damage almost like every 5 seconds in the game. And if we're going...
More often.
Even more often sometimes.
About 2 seconds. About 2 seconds, I think.
Yeah, but even if we are not going into apathy state, if we're going to mania state, we're hearing another sound, which is also not the
final.
Not only not the final, it's not very pleasant.
Not the final.
So
every 2 seconds. Yeah. So
I mean, it's hard to make sound that is both pleasant to hear every freaking 2 seconds and also indicate for the player that something wrong is going on.
Okay, so just to understand this, so if the player is getting damaged and they're entering the low metabolism stage, they'll hear that repeatedly damaged low sound. And then being healed, they'll hear this sound as well.
They're not actually healed.
But
I mean,
if he overheal,
if he overheals his mania, his apathy, he goes to mania.
He's screwed anyway.
It's all about the balance.
Oh, I see.
Everybody's gonna go crazy. All the players.
Right.
We're hoping for that.
Yeah, there is an unavoidable idea of just making all the players suffer.
Okay, so
they know when they are playing. Come on.
Right. Nobody's going to have a good time, but we don't want to annoy them with the sound when they're not having a good time. So this is
exactly.
I love this. I love this.
Exactly,
By the way. I love that you're showing this, and you're. This is. I like how vulnerable you're showing yourselves right now, because this is what happens on every project. You try an idea and you don't get it right the first time. You have to figure it out and test it. So I cannot wait to hear what you do to solve this when you do.
Well, thank you. Well, that was my idea behind it, because I wanted to show us as like human beings, we don't know how to do it. Like from instance, like, yeah, we know how to do it and we just make it and we're all just amazing, perfect, and everybody is like on rainbows and unicorns. No, we're trying our best, and this obviously does not work at the moment. Probably we're gonna change it so only after like relatively big damage has already been occurred. If you're entering like the critical stage, maybe only then the sound will appear. Maybe before that it will only be like a visual, like a vignette or something like that, because it's easier. Because vignette after almost every like couple seconds is not as disturbing. As I said before, we want players to suffer, but not in that way.
Yeah, it is
within the game mechanics, not in real life. Yeah, I understand.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And it is actually good that we have this demo out, because we can test it on real people. They're evil, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that this like apathy mania thing, like the bar, is also being tweaked right now by the graphics department. So we are not the only ones that tweaking stuff. So yeah, we're going to figure that out, and it's really good that people are playing it and they're leaving a lot of feedback about this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I mentioned a while back, where sometimes the audio can't solve some of the issues that the audio sounds like it's having. Like in this case, maybe it is a mechanic thing that needs to change, because if this does play every 2 seconds, you're not going to have a good time. So it's really interesting. And this is where the communication, I think, between departments needs to happen and be honest.
Exactly. And here I really want to say that I appreciate the management of the project. Like from I Speak Large part, we were not only communicating with Vasily, but we're also communicating with game designers, with programmers, of course, again, Albert. And of course, like some ideas that they have and we're trying to implement it just don't work as they are, and everybody is thinking how this can be solved. And I'm glad to hear and see that it's a group effort. We're not trying to blame any like department for the mistakes. We're just trying to make it better together. And yeah, the bigger the game is, the harder it is to manage all these parts that are trying to, to do their job, but also try to communicate with others so they will do like everything together and not just, we've done that. So it's on you now, guys. So just make this sound good. Like, no. I like the decisions that are created in these calls and these communications. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a conversation, right? I always find that some clients expect you to do everything and off you go, audio, figure it out, done. And it's like, that's never going to yield the best result. The best results are the ones where we actually collaborate and we actually talk and they actually give me the support and the time that we need. Because
of course.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's time to talk about music finally, because it's enough of a sound. It's music time, because we have cool music systems.
Before we talk about music system, I want to say one fun fact about our beloved Albert. Did you know that he programs with the Comic Sans font everywhere?
What?
Yes. And if you look at the credits of Pathologic 2, his name and
his name there in
his name and lead programmer is made in Comic Sans font because it's his kind of talisman, I think. So
I had no idea you could change the font of your programming, of your scripting.
If you can, if you're Albert, I guess.
Yes.
If I could do that, I'd choose the Egyptian one. What's it, papyrus or whatever it's called?
Papyrus, yeah. Cool. I did not know that. Thank you. Please.
So, if you're ready,
yeah,
go for it. Oh my god, I love this.
Yes, me too. We have actually we have another system in mind when we just started to develop the music system for Pathologic 3. And first, we think that our regions in the town will have their unique unique music. Yeah, but later we declined this conception and concentrate on the days. So our main one of the main tasks was make the unique music for 12 days, and you can see here, and they layered.
So
pretty
that's
layered.
sorry, just to interrupt. So instead of creating music for each area, physical area that you go in,
Yep.
decided in the day. Is that something to do with like the narrative of the story, or is there another reason for that?
There were another reason, because in Pathologic 2 we have open world, and we can migrate between between areas as we wish. But in Pathologic 3 we have no so much experience of exploring world, but you also can visit any region or area, but mostly you travel through the days and time. So we make this decision because of we travel from time to time, if I can say so, not from the area to area in some kind of sense. Well, we have 12 days, and our first task was make the music for this, and to switch day by day, day from day. Here's we have states. We have a pretty similar system with states like is indoor, is game, is main menu, is pause, is another GUI window or something. And according to the states, we change in sounds, how it sounds. So if we start, for example, day 5. Oh, no, it's this. Well, day 5, location. Okay. Yes, we have this parameter is game, and if it's 0, so we're not in game, we not hear the music. Yes. Now you hear the music, and if we, for example, change our game state for the map, we have filters that make our senses kinda far from the game. So you look at the map, and you have the reverberation, you have the low pass filter, and it make you kinda sense of another state. But it's simple, it's not a big deal, but it's also the system. If you get into the settings, you have no these filters, but why? I think I should add it. Well, when we in the game, we're trying to change the days. Okay, we have migrates from one stage to another stage. And we already listened to another music of another day. Another system is according to our indoors location. For indoors, we have a daughter, or how it right to name, daughter event with tones of
child event. Sorry, daughter make me laugh. I normally say child event, parent event, and
child event. Yep. Child event.
Unless it's specifically a daughter and specifically a son. I don't know. That's
very feministic.
I have both, actually. So yes, this is our indoors main, and this is all of our indoors music. Some of them layered, some of them not, and here you can see how much of them. And
you've got specific
when
transitions, I suppose, for each one of these areas, right?
yes.
Moving
So when we is indoor is 0, so we outside, for example. We have location ID, gets this indoor, for example, and then we smooth change state to indoor. And we can hear how starts music from the Lyrichev is indoor. Lyrichev is one of character. And in this system we have some problem. We have some trouble which we realized when working on intro and quarantine. So trouble was in the system when we're trying to change our indoors, not going outside, because in real world we cannot change our indoor came in different house. Within coming outside to the street, to the reach another house, and then so if it was real world, so we have to go outdoor first, then change our indoor state, and then again get to the another house. And see, you can hear another house music.
I see.
But
so you're in somewhere indoors, you're hearing the indoor track, then you leave, obviously, so you go outside in order to get indoors again, right? That's what you're saying. So
yes. But if we don't going outside and trying to change the indoor state, there's nothing. There's nothing because it need too many transitions. It other indoor track. I think we can make it, but looks like we don't need.
Yeah, luckily there is no teleportation. So we just go outside and then we open the door and then there is this transition.
Yeah.
So we kind of hear the sound of the door opening and then it just looks quite smoothly.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So there's no need to do what you've just described. So there's no need to put it inside of FMOD, which also
yes, we don't need. But if we need, if we have teleportation, as Ressa says, maybe we make some another system. I don't know.
Yeah, and if I got correctly, what Vasily was saying, we had this a little problem. We stumbled across this little problem while making quarantine, because quarantine as a demo actually included this
it's
little
a bunch of it's a bunch
of indoors, separate indoors, without actually going outside, because this is just like bits of memories of the main character. So yeah, it's been a little bit tricky, right?
Yep. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Yep. Well, back to our cows and cow butts. We have
my cow butts.
Yeah. Sure.
Obsessed.
I have also location states because we have normal locations, we have diseased locations, and we have blocked or rioting locations. Also, we have systems which starts also nested events, which named like diseased location. Here it is. And it's have system according to our Shabnak gameplay. Shabnak is kind of our protagonist's boss antagonist. It's a disease location, and as you see, it's also layered and have some states of how far you from our monster, and how is aggressive its monster. And we have also states, parameters, if you have a weapon against this monster. So just take a listen a bit. If we have location diseased, and try to make... I have no these parameters here. So if we try... go outside to the infected region, we hear this. And this is this event. This is diseased game. Okay. Tyrant distance, 0, 0.
Yeah, tyrant is basically Shabnak, who is the face of the plague.
Yeah. Shabnak's face of the plague is a kind of burning monster with pretty creepy animation and sound design. Thank you, Natalia.
Thanks. If you need female
So-
crazy scary screams, yeah, call me.
Oh, this was you. This was you on this track, or for the monster.
No, for the track, just a little bit for the monster. Just
Oh, we have to listen to that next then.
yeah. Once somebody says something nasty about my cowbots, I'm like, "Wah!" Yeah. And
I
then
totally
sound
get. I've
design.
been there. I totally understand what you mean.
So if we in infected region, we hear this. It's kind of subtle soundtrack. It's kind of gloomy. But if we get closer to our monster Shabnak, we starting to see the drones of guitars, some drum samples, and if our monster is getting aggressive, we have a set chain, we have voices and other creepy stuff that will notificate it that we are in trouble now. But if our monster is not aggressive and we have our silver bullet, we have another layer which on high frequencies must be show us that for now we are hunter at this stage. And I think we will make another iteration of layer of distance and aggression.
Can you tell us what the silver bullet is, just to make sure?
Silver bullet is our weapon, which we need to find to struggle against the plague as a Shabnak in infected regions. At least for now, designers' conception looks like this, I think. So this is our infected region.
I love
And,
it. Feels so tense, so creepy. I would immediately feel on edge listening to that.
Thank you. And we have also blocked system with pretty similar mechanic.
What is blocked?
Blocked is a region. It's named from the Haruspics from Pathologic 2, where there were blocked regions. After infection, region became blocked, kind of quarantined, kind of.
I see. So the player can't get in here, basically.
Yes. And it's after plague where the people can make start rioting. And they can be aggressive to you, and you can use your boomstick or gun or something. So we can make location state is blocked, and here it is. We have intensity of nervous player, which make our two heartbeat. And if you can hear, there are shepherd tone. We also use shepherd's tone in diseased, in infected regions. And if you have aggression from the people in this region, you have drums, and so on. And if you get nervous, add in shepherd's tone. And I think we have a very pretty nice psychosis. And if in that time we have a mania, we start to broke our music, and it starts to sounds like something wrong, something more nervous, something more maniac maybe. That's how metabolism works on music.
Yeah, it's just how to make the player anxious in a couple of seconds. I already feel it.
I do as well, and I'm just watching. Yeah, I hate this. I love it, but I also hate it. Like, it makes me feel very uncomfortable.
So you're a good
Okay.
target audience for the game.
I think that was aim of the.
Yeah, you smashed it. That's for sure. How did you? So the mania, going back to the metabolism parameter.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'd love to know what you did to make the music sound off and wrong.
Oh, it's a kind of bunch of effects, which I'll try to show you now. It's it's reverb. It's of course reverb. It's pitch shifter, compressor, delay on basses. Also pitch shifters, compressors, and delays, which makes a bit changes. And it's kind of frequencies. Let's just hear how it looks. Now we have a pretty nice metabolism. Everything's fine. And when it starts to let's take off our blocked region. This is our general music. And now the metabolism is growing to maniac. We have a dynamic delay here. Also, we must have pitch shifter. And you see the kind of granulation. Because of this delay, it's a pretty nice effect, I think, and works pretty good. But if you go to apathy, we have kind of this. We're going deeper and deeper in our depression. Not so deep where apathy is not so deep. But if you're going to make suicide, you absolutely pretty here like this. Maybe we have another. Yeah, we have a really bunch of effects on different layers with different settings. Tremolo, but it's switched off. Okay, maybe it's from the past iterations. Also delay, also reverb. Also wet level. Yeah. On different layers of our composition, we have different effect chains. And of course, it works for about every music we have in game. And even indoors, I think. Yeah, do we have grip team? Well. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it's basically amazing because in the game you never hear like the normal music all the time because it's very difficult to just stay imbalance between mania and apathy. So the flow of the soundtrack that you hear during the game, during your during the time you play the demo, is always different. So it's never the same. It's amazing.
And I think we will fix it and make more complicated. Then you can hear more different ways of how our music can sound according to new metabolic system, I think.
That's fantastic. Such an interesting challenge as well to kind of make the music system work towards as well. Like you just said as well, Ressa, that's really interesting that it's never quite in one place or the other. It's always kind of flowing from one to the other. So making those smooth transitions that you made, Vasily, makes sense. Awesome. And also great music, I have to say. Really, what a
Thank
vibe
you.
Straight away.
Also, we have another a little bit systems just realized at the certain places like theater, I think. In theater we have a microscope, and if in the theater we have state microscope, we have theme of our inspection with the microscope.
I can say this
Also,
is easily my favorite team here in the game.
Yes, me too. This makes Nikolai, and it's very, very subtle and dreamy and kind of creepy at the same time. Yeah.
Still sad, like melancholy.
Still melancholy. Yeah. Also, we have interrogation theme, inspection theme. Yeah. When you looks at the body and make diagnosis. But it's all very simple. It's just nested events which we makes with these instruments. Start, stop event also. Also we have a song which stops all the music and trying and starting to make his theme.
So you're really using this sometimes as a controller, right, for the music in many ways, because you have a bunch of command instruments telling other reference tracks to start playing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. It's pretty good to use when you need to stop with a certain in a certain situation.
Awesome.
I think it was kind of maybe not so smooth as I planned to tell about it, but hope it's still kind of interesting.
No, it was great. Fantastic. Don't worry. There's some great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well,
I guess.
Hope you get great time.
I did. I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed this, and there's plenty of great insights that people can take. And not to mention, this is the first time I've interviewed somebody who's currently working on the demo, which is out there, and we can see works in progress. So especially juniors and other audio professionals can see what it's like to work on a game and fix things and trial and error and all this stuff. So that's been fantastic as well.
Yeah, and it's totally normal because it's the process of iteration. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. The process of iteration. 100%.
Oh, totally true. I think, well, yeah, it's a cool thing that you highlighted this, Sergio, because usually when you listen into JDC talks about post-mortem big audio productions on big already famous titles, it always feels like a success story. We made this because we're that awesome, we're that amazing. And I remember myself being a junior sound designer, always being overwhelmed by these people. How can I be this amazing? I always keep making mistakes, doing errors. I don't know how to do it. Nah, do I have a time or the ability of experimenting? We experiment and sometimes we fail. Maybe not with music.
If you not fail, it's not experiment, at least.
True.
100%. It's always like when you hear about somebody who like, how did you start your career? How did you get your start in your, composers especially? Well, I went to study and then I started my first project and that was it. And I was like, whoa, where's that? Like, there's a massive jump between studying and finding your first project. And this is the same thing. It's like, yeah, the GDC level, like polished, beautiful. Yeah, we went through many different iterations. I'm like, can we see some of them? Like, I would love to see that kind of thing. So this is why I love talking to indie teams, because we can talk about this.
Yeah, definitely. I can say, like, on the one side, we suck. On the other side, we are finding the perfect solution for it. This is the scientific approach.
Well, we don't suck. We're human.
Sorry, I'm a little judgmental.
No.
When you talk about your team, it's always like...
Just like says the Robocop in the second film, at the end. We're just people, do you remember that?
Fantastic, yeah.
Sure.
I actually think of Robocop too every time somebody brings up this idea of failing upwards. So yeah, I get it.
We're humans.
Fantastic.
Only AI is 100% perfect because it 100% doesn't know what it's doing. So
humans don't know what they're doing. No, but anyway,
exactly.
like we can just hope to suck
Okay, yeah.
less each step of the way, and I think that's the right way to think about it. Because otherwise, you don't test things, you don't try, you don't experiment, and that's at least from our point of view. My God, the amount of times I've changed one sound in this project we're currently working on like 10 times at least now. And I'm probably going to change it another 10 times because it needs to be tested. And you don't know that until somebody has played it for hours. Anyway, I just want to end the interview by saying thank you so much to all three of you. This was an absolute pleasure, and I know a lot of people are going to find this very, very helpful.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you, Sergio. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us. It's been a pleasure to talk about this, and for me personally, it's always a pleasure to listen about the music system, because I do not work with the music part. I only do the sound design implementation. When I open all these events with all these parameters, I always get, oh my God, it's fantastic to see our own project being described from like but still a little bit like a different part of our department. Yeah,
100%. It's nice to reflect on your own work and see
exactly.
100%. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and we will do our best to answer them. And otherwise, I will see you in the next FMOD Deep Dive.